And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to A Nice Place to Brew. I'm Jason.
And I'm Polly.
This is a show about all things beer and beer making. If you're catching us for the first time, we're so glad you found us. Thank you so much. We have a deep back catalog that's available on our YouTube page of webcasts going back more than a year. Check us out there. We have an audio podcast under the same name, A Nice Place to Brew, that's available on all the podcasting platforms. Our regular webcast time is every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com, and our social media links are Nice Place to Brew and A Nice Place to Brew. Paulie,
What's going on?
How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Good. Awesome. I learned some interesting things this week, and I'm looking forward to talking about these.
Ooh, okay. What?
So, before we get into that, let's talk about the important things. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking, to start with, the Mega Meme from Impossible Mead, because it's a blueberry lemonade mead that's only 6.5%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sessionable.
Yep. Have a session mead. Because ever since Brian got that bill passed into law, we're jumping on the train with everybody, and we're gonna start selling some mead. Why not? It's another gluten-free option for the gluten-free people out there.
Sure. So for the people that are catching us for the first time, can you fill in exactly what just changed recently in Illinois and why this is so relevant for the craft beer world?
Well, because there was a law, if you wanted to sell mead, you had to have a brew pub license, which is, I think, a 3A. And a regular brewery license is 1A or B. And we could only sell the beer that we made. We could only sell beer. We couldn't sell wine. We'd have to be a brew pub. And then our friends at Impossible Mead just got a bill passed into law that, 2 or 3 weeks ago now, to where now we can start selling their mead, and we are very excited about it because Brian's helped us out immensely down here at the brewery. So we want to do the same for him and help him out. So it's a lot of fun to be able to be a part of this.
I think this is a win all around on so many levels. Number one, it's amazing for the few and proud mead makers that are out there in the U.S. because there's not all that many. It's also a big win for consumers also, because this is another option that you can realize when you go into a craft brewery around the country. That can be an offering that you can choose from. So it's a win for business, it's a win for breweries, and it's a win for the consumers. And of course, the states are going to tax this, so they're going to get more revenue out of it too.
Yep. What are you drinking? That's the question there, Jason.
All right. So we've talked on previous episodes of this show about how it's easy to accumulate as a home brewer a deep, I'll say, archive of beers that just happen to linger around in your fridge for a very long time. And that's where I found myself tonight. And I just said, it's way overdue for me to carve into some of these things that have been lingering a little bit too long. So I am drinking tonight a beer from a brewery that many people will know. And I'm talking, of course, about Stone Brewery out of Southern California. Yes, exactly. This is a beer that's been in my fridge for, I think, 2 years now.
Oh, please tell me it's something worth saving.
Well, my first couple of sips, I will say that the beer has kept its freshness.
Okay.
So I feel good about that. So here's what the label looks like. And it's got a giant demon on it. So it is quite an artwork job.
It is. What is it? I can't read the name.
So this is called Woot Stout.
Okay.
It's an ale brewed with pecans, wheat, and rye, 1 quarter aged in bourbon barrels.
Ooh.
Yes. So the back says, front and center this year is the result of Will's creative machinations.
Machinations, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking the art direction duties with world-renowned fantasy artist Joe Jusko representing our gargoyles' triumph over the evils of the world of beer. Wow. Okay. Heroes. 6 years into this amazing Woot Stout legacy, and I continue to be stunned and humbled by the response of our fans. Sure, it's an amazingly delicious specialty imperial stout, partially inspired by Kentucky Derby Pie of Drew's home state. And speaking of Drew, we asked him to lean into one of these strengths, drinking Woot Stout and chatting up a storm. Oh, just like this webcast. How appropriate. So this year, he'll MC our wildly nerd-nominous celebration of beer and geekery known as HopCon Woot Stout Release Party, held annually during San Diego's Comic-Con. Well, I think we're long past that because this beer, of course, is labeled 2018.
Whoa.
So this beer has been in a while. So this may be a short show because I'm going from stone cold sober to a 11.5% barrel aged stout. So,
Oh, geez. Here we go. Ace is sleeping in the guest room tonight. I can foresee it.
we'll see.
I don't blame
There's still
you,
a lot of the
Candy.
night to go. All right.
What do you want to talk about? You said you got a bunch of things to talk about. So
I do. Okay. So I went to a homebrewers meetup this week, which I have not been around this group it's been a long time. I think last fall, maybe early winter time was probably the more likely last time. It's been a while. So we got caught up and everybody has been actively brewing, which is excellent. So we had plenty to talk about. So the structure of those meetings are you bring a beer to share that you've made. You pour it around the table, share the ingredients, share the things that happened in the brew day, the techniques that you went through, and you get some really meaningful critiques. So I brought my Hazy IPA with me, and I'll talk about those results later on. But throughout the discussion of the night, I learned a brewing term that I had never heard until that time. And that term is first wort hopping.
Oh,
okay. All right. So that strikes some recognition with you. So do you want to fill in a little bit you may know about first wort hopping?
First wort hopping is when you do your first hop addition right at the beginning of your collection into your boil kettle.
Right.
Yes, I've done it before. Never been too impressed with it, to be completely honest with you. So I'm kind of curious. What did you think about the process?
It's interesting. It does seem to break some natural rules, but I think the window that you can do this is a little bit limited. So I was able to find an article on homebrewersassociation.org, of course, our friends at the American Homebrewers Association, and they talked about it, and they mentioned that the recommended hops for first wort hopping is the German noble hops. So you're talking about your classic, just kind of easy to use variety, ones that'll show up in a lot of lagers and some ales also. First wort hopping is not well suited to your hazy IPAs, your tropical hops, what they refer to as volatile hop oil presences. Will just create some kind of muddy flavors in your beer, stuff that you really don't want. So that makes me think, okay, so don't make your fancy IPAs with this. Make your classic, really German style beers like Bock's, Fest beers, things like that. And the benefits to doing first wort hopping are described this way. Normally, the aromatic oils within hops are soluble and evaporate during the boil. However, by letting the hops steep in the wort before the boil, the oils have more time to oxidize to more soluble compounds, which means there's a greater chance these oils are kept in the beer during the boil and deliver additional hop complexity in the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was thinking maybe like a Czech Pilsner, like a
maybe,
like a Czech Pilsner would be really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it would probably bring some good bitterness out of it. Use like Saz or something like that in there.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really good.
Where was the experiment? It's here in this article. Okay, there was an experiment done, and the feedback of the experiment includes, despite increased bitterness, which is not a surprise because that's a lot more time in the liquid that the hops have. The panelists described the first wort hopped beers as more pleasant tasting and overwhelmingly preferred them. creating a more harmonic beer and uniform bitterness when compared to the conventionally hopped beer. Further analysis indicated that the conventionally hopped beers contained a higher level of hop aroma substances, but panelists nonetheless described the first wort hop beers as having a very fine and rounded hop aroma and rounded hop flavor.
I could see that.
Contained a higher level of hop aroma substances.
Maybe because the oils have sitting in there steeping while you're collecting at that low temperature. You know, if you're like 170 degrees, something like that. If you do a mash out. That's all I could think of. Maybe I'll have to try it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to try it again.
The styles around this, you know, the classic European styles, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this too. I feel like I want to experiment with it. I want to determine the best beer style for it.
Does it say in the article anything about it?
Says, yeah, it does. Is applied to a full range of styles, both ales and lagers.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it's more specific than that. So I'll have to do some further research.
Yeah. Because like me and Brian tried it years ago, and I just wasn't really all that impressed with it. So we just kind of abandoned that practice, to be perfectly honest with you.
All right.
So, but besides that, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad you learned something new. What else did you learn?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. So we talked about what to do during the hot break.
Ooh, hot break.
Yes.
I'm curious about that.
All right. So this became a bit of a debate around the table. And I'm not sure if we've talked about this here on the webcast, so this will be good. Do you want to give a somewhat scientific explanation of what happens during the hot break?
When your hot break usually happens right when you're adding your bittering addition, the beginning of the boil. So what happens is all the oils and lupulins and everything from the hops, when you're adding into your bittering addition, they just start foaming up real quick. I mean, I know a lot of people, what they do for the hot break is they'll actually turn their gas off at first, just for a couple seconds.
Okay.
So you're not getting that, because when you get that constant heat and then you get that hot break, that's when you get the boil over. Or I know a lot of people, a lot of the pro brewers, what they'll do is, granted, waters it down a little bit, is just spray the foam. Because if you spray the foam, it breaks it down real quick.
So that's one of the things I was going to bring up. So you can spray the foam with a couple of things. What you guys have recommended before is what is that thing you add to the top
cap
of the foam? Firm cap. Yes.
I had firm cap all the time. What I do is I wait till about 206 to 209 degrees, and then I'll skim off all the foam off the top, and then I'll put my 50 milliliters of firm cap in there. But then I know other people with what they've done is like they'll just dump a little, they'll actually keep all that foam on there. I'm a freak. I like to skim it off, and they'll put that little bit of foam on there just to watch the foam break down.
Okay.
So I've seen two different ways. Like I know Joel, what he does is he takes like a ketchup bottle and just squirts it on the top of the foam and all that. I've heard about that before. I don't know of any other ways to do it. So those are the two ways that I do and the two ways that I know. So I'd love to hear some other options out there.
Yeah. So the topic of skimming was talked about with great enthusiasm. So skimming, just to give a regular picture of what that is, during the hot break, when all of the things coagulate and creates kind of a krausen on top of the liquid, you go in there with a metal spoon or some kind of straining device of any kind. Just take that bubbly substances and just throw that into an empty bucket somewhere.
I mean, because that's just a lot of proteins and whatnot that you really don't need.
Exactly.
And, it's kind of funny because you talk about it on the homebrew side. That's a huge debate on the glorified homebrewers that we like to call ourselves.
Yep.
Unless you're like a rev guy or something like that. then you're just a pro guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the table was split. There was 5 people there. 2 people skimmed, 3 people did not. And I was one of those people. Yes, I'm a skimmer.
You know what? That's what I was taught 11 years ago. So I go with what I know, you know?
Yeah. It makes sense to me because if you don't do it, that's a bunch of proteins that you're leaving in your liquid. It's more things that the yeast are going to have to swim through to consume all the sugars. And not to mention that's going to be more stuff that you're just going to be racking off of after primary is done.
Uh-huh. It's going to be down there on that yeast cake and all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you got to, like, when you do the skimming, you don't have to worry about washing your yeast as much. That's a different story for a different time. Actually, I've never washed yeast before. I know about it. I know the process, but we'll have to do some research. We can have a topic about harvesting yeast one day.
Yeah.
That's one thing I am really getting ready to start doing here. I'm going to bring our friend Louise in one day, and she's going to really show me how to harvest it.
Okay.
And multiply.
Can I please be a part of that?
Sure.
Thank you. I really would love to see that firsthand.
Yeah, me too. Because I know what we've done. Like when I was interning at Flossmoor, all we would do is just really take some yeast and put it in your typical corny keg right here, and just put it right in there. Make sure it's sanitized and oxygen free. Mm-hmm. And you just dump right into it and sanitize it, cap it back up, and when it comes to brew day next day, you just hook this thing up in line and you pump that bitch right in with the wort.
Yeah. Right on.
All you got to do. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Back to the hot break for a second.
Sure.
There's people that talked about a different method, and they referred to it as spritzing.
Is that the waters? Is that when you spray the water?
Yeah.
I've never heard that term before, but I could figure out why they call it.
Is it just like it's just water in a spray bottle? You just
water, something like this.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't want to squirt my computer or my beer because it starts saying so, but still don't want to do it. You do that, and I've also, I've seen Brian from Impossible Mead do the same thing where he'll just take his hose and just spray it in the boil kettle. But you got to think about how much liquid he's really making compared to what we're making over here. I'm making 2.5 barrels. He's making anywhere from 10 to 20 barrels. So
Brian's system is that. Oh, are you talking about a Blue Island?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What Brian do you think I talk about?
I thought you said impossible.
Oh no. I may have. I didn't mean him.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting sidetracked over here.
Someone's here?
Well, no, because Tina's here, and I'm gonna go get a ladder from her. She's standing on top of a fucking stool, putting membership cards in all the mug clubbers mugs.
Oh,
should I go get a ladder for him, or just sit here and? Well, Ken's over there.
Yeah, is somebody close by at least keeping that stable?
Yeah, well, at least Sarah's there to break her fall.
Okay.
That see right here. This is a downfall of the brew house being right outside the tap room. I love Tia to death, and this girl crawls up on the bar all the time. I mean, she is a little lady, but sometimes I'm like, "What are you doing? Get down! Let me go get a ladder."
Yeah, yep, I get it. Totally get it.
And considering our bartender Ken is a safety guy and he's an OSHA certified, so I can't wait to give him shit after the show.
How is that mead? Must be good. You went through that pretty quick.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really tasty. It's sessionable. So, to me, some meads are too sweet for my taste buds, but that's just me, But it's still real tasty. So, I'm excited that you're going to come down and brew with us on next Saturday.
Yes. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're going to do a Fireman brew. I was wanting to, I still might do something different, but I still might do a porter. But because Tina, likes to travel a lot, or at least she's, damn girl's on the bench again. You know, it's like the kid, like the mall rats. That damn kid's on the escalator again. If you keep hearing me say that's sorry, guys, it's gonna happen. But but what was I talking about? I got sidetracked. We were talking about
Fireman's Brew Day.
Oh yeah, Fireman Brew Day. So Tina likes to travel a lot, and she goes brewery hopping when she travels. Well, some brewery in Arizona, they teamed up with the local fire department, and they had the firemen come in and brew a beer with them. And they brewed it, they packaged it. I don't know if they donated any proceeds or anything like that. We're going to do the same thing here this next Saturday because we're actually going to release it in the first weekend of October is Fire Prevention Week. So we're doing it so it'll come out in time in accordance with Fire Prevention Week. So I'm actually very excited about that. Just amongst everything else that we have going on down here in the good old school brewing world, which I enjoy.
Wilmington, Illinois.
Wilmington, Illinois. Exactly. Here, I know where it's at. Oh, no, that's it. Oh, there we go. Ha! You're gonna
Paulie has the power.
Yeah, yes, you're gonna regret giving me this power. Oh, I thought I was hiding it. Hold on. I said hide it. Hide. There we go. It's gone. Oh, that's funny. But regardless, I mean, I'm enjoying that, and then I got a couple more collaborations coming up here in the future. So, it's just another day at the good old Route 66 old school brewing. Going on in 3 weeks is to be a 1 year anniversary.
3 weeks. And there's another special event around that time too. You want to talk about that?
You know what? That's right around the same time. We are doing an Oktoberfest where we are going to have, as of right now, 8 breweries and 1 homebrew club. And we're going to do a little mini beer festival out in front of the brewery here from noon to 3 on Saturday, September 25th. $25. Get you 10 samples of what everybody's bringing. I mean, we don't know how many people are going to be there, so we're just going to play it safe, and we're going to tell all the breweries, since it's only a 3-hour session, we're just going to say, hey, just bring. Now she's on the fucking shelf. No, she's on the desk at least. It's a little more sturdy. I'm going to keep going back to this the whole fucking show. Thank you. Oh, sweet. Another one for me to start playing with.
Yes.
But it's going to be, hold on. Give me a second. I can see if I can reach it. The breweries that are going to be there are Steam Hollow Brewing, Will County Brewing, Elder Brewing, Nick and Ivy, the Joliet Brewers Guild, because we have to throw some love to them.
What?
Because if it wasn't for the Joliet Brewers Guild, we wouldn't have Will County Brewing. We wouldn't have Elder Brewing. We wouldn't have Mad Hatchet Brewing. We wouldn't have Metal Monkey Brewing.
That's right.
Wouldn't have me working at Old School Brewing. So, it's kind of funny because Joel from Will County was telling me he was at every 3 months they do the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, which is just pretty much a big club for all the pro brewers in the state of Illinois. They get together and we can sit around and drink beer at somebody else's brewery. Joe was at the meeting, and I don't know that they got on the subject of homebrew clubs, and he mentioned that he was a member of JBG. And I guess the ongoing joke right now is if you're a home brewer and want to go pro, you join the Joliet Brewers Guild. And I think that is the best compliment our club has ever gotten.
It really is.
You know, it's kind of funny. Go on.
There is so many reasons to join a homebrew club. The benefits we couldn't understate. You know, just from the knowledge that gets shared, the beers that you taste, the things that you learn from them, the friendships you make. And of course, you know, people become really good influences and things grow. And for the Joliet Brewers Guild, that has resulted in, they were startup breweries at the time. You know, what went from home brewers to startup breweries, and those breweries are now staples, you know, here in the greater Southwest suburban area. Metal Monkey, Mad Hatchet, Will County, Elder. These are very, very well known and sought after breweries that make product that is really, really good. And they're just awesome places to go, and great people as well.
Great atmosphere.
So, yeah.
Talk to everybody. Nobody's pretentious. Nobody's a hype brewer except for maybe one of them.
Right.
Shout out if you're watching and looking in your direction. Gotta throw a dig to him every now and then.
Yes, of course. Sean from Mad Hatchet Brewing Company, who's been on the show many, many times, and he's welcome anytime. Cheers to you, bud.
Yep, cheers to you.
Yeah, I know. The JBG, of course, has been game changers for so many people. Paulie and I are two of many. And every homebrew club can have stories like that. So everybody out there, if you're not part of a homebrew club, please, wherever you are, seek one out, join it. Your brewing game will increase because of it, and so many other things as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, when I worked for a homebrew store, I mean, even when I was on all the homebrew pages, that was the biggest piece of advice I could ever give anybody.
Yeah.
If you want to get serious about brewing beer, I mean, even as a home brewer, even if you got a good paying job and you're happy with it, and you want to get good at it, you'll always be better with a homebrew club.
Yeah.
So, sorry, there's too much going on here at the brewery right now.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It was
all right. Speaking of homebrew clubs, there's another thing that I discovered this past week. So I mentioned at the top of the show that I brought my Hazy IPA with me. The Hazy IPA was carbonated around the 4th of July. I believe it was right around that time. And that beer had poured so well. It was this glowing yellow, hazy color. All of the aroma hops was very much present. And by the time that it was, served on tap at my wedding in late July, it was a smash hit. And for a really hot day, it was the perfect beer for it. So it was awesome. So anyways, I pour that beer at the meeting, which is now 5 weeks later. And the appearance of this beer, the haze was just gone. So, which was a little unexpected. I had not seen the beer in a couple of weeks. I hadn't poured it. And it poured like a regular West Coast IPA. It was not the hazy that it was 5 weeks before. So what's also interesting about that is while the color was noticeably different, the hop presence was not different. Those late addition aroma hops were still very much present. The flavor was still, I wouldn't call it juicy, but it was definitely an IPA. So it lost something. It didn't lose everything. So there is a factor when making hazies about a life cycle. That's definitely true. As a consumer, if you're out shopping for hazies in a retail setting, I've gotten advice from a number of people that said, don't buy a hazy that's more than 75 days past the packaging date because the life cycle is just that short. So what can we take away from that as home brewers that are not, pouring this out of cans or buying it at a retail setting? Let's say you're making a hazy at home and you're placing it into a keg and just dispensing from there. What kind of rules can we take away from that? And Paulie, I would welcome your advice on this because, of course, you're making hazies at the world famous Route 66 old school brewing. And also all of your beers are ending up in kegs. So I think your advice would be well taken here. You got to come off of mute though.
Sorry, drink it. Gotta drink it. Just drink it. I mean, if it's your homebrew, have people over, drink it. Don't. That's not like a typical APA or IPA, something like that. You can let it sit for 3-4 months. No, you gotta drink that shit. Give it to friends. I mean, you gotta drink it.
What's a rule? I mean, should that keg be gone in a month and a half? What's a reasonable frame for that?
Well, I mean, me, if I had a homebrew keg last over a month, you don't drink enough. Be a homebrewer and brew a hazy.
I'm in trouble then.
I mean, really, that's you just gotta drink. You just gotta drink it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, or give it out to friends or something like that.
Right. Okay. All right. So the advice to homebrewers out there is that beer's got to go quick.
Yep.
That's it. All right. That's fair.
That's about the best advice I can get. I mean, 75 days to me, that's still a little bit early. I mean, I have a 90-day rule for any IPA, hazy, IPA, APA, anything that's hot, it's got a hot presence.
Okay.
90 days is mine. I mean, I won't purchase anything over 90 days.
Okay.
Because it's come down and bite me in the butt a handful of times. To where I'll try it and I'm like, oh, it does taste, it's got a little bit of hot presence in it. You know, it makes me wonder how, like, when the whole IPA style actually happened, you know, hundreds of years ago, you know, when they're bringing the beer on boats all the way to fucking India from England. That's why they
stuffed a bunch of hops in there. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was stale, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just hard to believe that, you know, one style of beer that was a way to preserve beer has turned out to be one of the most sought after styles in the country, or not country, the whole world. And Americans have. They're on the forefront of it. I mean, I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but we are on the forefront of it. We started this hop craze, you know. Why do you think there's all these people like Stone? Well, even though they are selling their brewery in Munich, but you know, people like Stone, they would have they opened a brewery in Munich just so their beer would get there quicker and stay fresh. You know, I would love to look. I never did it, but like, you know, Mike from Brew and Grow, he was telling me like because he reads all the reviews on Beer Advocate all the time, and he's like, it's fucking funny because all these people and all the Europeans and Germans or whatnot, they're going crazy over the American IPAs between you know, like Lagunitas and all the big boys that are out there, or at least made it across the pond. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I know somebody who talk about that, about just how sought after American IPAs are over in Europe. And that's our good friend who just returned from Germany after a long stay.
And he's going back.
He is going back, but I really hope we can get him here on the show before he has to.
Yep. I've been talking to him today, and he said this week's just hard. He got to town last night.
Totally get it.
And so, you know, he's got to go. He wants to go have his he's going out for dinner with his mom tonight.
Okay.
Or his parents. Cool. And I get that. And, you know.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, you get home, not 24 hours later, you're on the computer. You know, you haven't seen your wife and kid in almost a year.
Right. And dealing with jet lag on top of that. That's no fun.
And then like an 8-hour time change or something like that.
That's what it is. Yeah, 8 hours.
Oh, wow. That was a lucky guess.
Yeah, it was. Well done.
Real lucky guess.
So, yeah. So welcome back, Mike. I look forward to introducing you here on the show. When of course, when time allows. So enjoy your time. We will talk soon.
Yep.
So
sorry, I'm
That's all good.
responding to a text. No, I had a lady call the brewery today,
Yeah.
and she's into skincare, and she read somewhere about spent grains, and she was asked what we did with our spent grains. I told her about
skincare.
I don't know if they're making what she's making with it or what she's doing with it. But she's like, what do you do with your spent grains? I'm like, we donated to a farmer. And she's like, oh. I'm like, well, how much do you need? You know, because I could throw some aside for you in a bag, you know, and put it in the cooler. I don't think the farmer is going to miss a pound or two of grain.
No.
So that'd be kind of funny to know that our spent grain is going to now a cosmetologist. Is that what
I want to know more about that. I really do.
All right, I'll talk to her when she comes in tomorrow.
Yeah. This should be another use for spent grain that I just knew nothing about.
Yeah, but but she said she only needs like a pound or two.
Okay, so this can be something for homebrewers.
Here you go, Jason. You got a person to donate your grain to.
Yes, exactly.
I will.
Listen, I think that's awesome.
Number. I'll give her your number.
Sure.
Just warn your wife. Some weird lady.
All right, you got it.
Candy, if you're watching, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just helping a fellow person out. Maybe Candy will get some free skincare out of it.
There you go. She'd be excited about that.
There you go. That's our story. We're sticking to it.
That's it. That's the whole story. There's nothing else.
Oh, that's hysterical. So what else did you want to talk about? I got a buddy.
Yeah, that's everything for me. What do you got?
Oh, I'm going to show you something. We got some new swag. Check out our new stickers.
Look at that. So colorful.
Believe it or not, it's like a hologram background, and it's just black ink on there.
That does come through.
And he gave me this for our barrels now, so now I got old school barrels.
Move it over. Hey!
It fits right on the head of a barrel. Perfect.
Does it really? Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So next time when you come in, you'll see these on our barrels. I'm getting a new barrel next week.
Yeah?
From Whiskey Acres in DeKalb. Yeah, I'm excited.
Nice.
So it's stout season. Time to start brewing stouts and porters. And actually, I think that's what we're going to do on. That's what we're going to do for Fireman Day.
Okay, a firm decision has not been made yet.
No, but it's probably going to be something that we need. Yeah. Probably something we need because for stock, you know.
Sure.
Actually, this is the first time, which I'm actually very proud of. I have a beer that is in the cooler right now that I'm not releasing until next week. I'm not rushing to get it out, and which is going to be great because it's a hazy, so I can give it a week to kill the hop burn.
Okay.
So I'm actually really excited about that. It'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea of doing a porter.
Okay.
I think the timing is good for it.
It'll probably just be a stock porter that we have here, you know.
Okay, that's fine.
It'll go good for the Fireman Brew Day. And actually one of the female firemen that's gonna be there, she loves porters and dark beer.
Cool.
So
all right. It's perfect fit then.
I love it. I love it when I have help because you know what? I don't have to grain out. Jason knows all about the graining out.
I do. I'm fine with doing it.
Yeah. It's fine. It's just kind of funny because like when I gave you shit that one time on Facebook, and everyone's like, "Oh, the guy that always comes to help grades out." Like, yeah.
I think that was Jason Janes from Metal Monkey that mentioned that.
Yep. Well, he can't really talk because they don't fucking grade out. They got a rake that pushes everything out.
Yeah, they do.
That's cheating.
Yeah. It's all good.
You know what? It's funny because the other day he was bitching about how heavy the bags were to lift and dump into the mill. I was like, you know what? You can go fuck yourself. Dump it a bag into the mill.
He's got that hopper there.
Yeah, and they gotta lift it up off the ground 3 feet and lay it over, and all they gotta do is cut it. And he was bitching about having to do that. So, Jason, if you're listening, you're a pussy.
I didn't say it. I did not say that.
I did. Thank you. Yes, I said.
Oh boy. Oh, this is controversy right here.
Well, that just goes to us JBG guys. You know, we're the biggest group of assholes you can hang out with. We really are, but then we're really good guys on top of it.
Yeah. I think that being good guys shines through way more than being assholes.
Well, because we like each other, that's why we can be assholes.
Fair enough. Join a homebrew club, people.
Oh yeah, you'll be cussing at homebrews before you know it.
Yeah.
You'll be cussing at the homebrews before you know it. Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, we got our next meeting almost dropped. Getting beers delivered, almost dropped it on my laptop.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That would just mean I have to get a new laptop. Darn.
What was this past week's release?
This week's release? The mead.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we released the mead this week. Which
right.
we were going to do the hazy that's sitting in the cooler. But when we decided to release the mead, I was like, all right. Then I can go ahead and package it and have it sitting in the cooler and have it ready for next week.
Get rid of the hot burn.
Yeah, and this is the first time ever in the almost year that I've been at Route 66 Old School Brewing where I've had beer ready for next week. I'm not rushing to get it out.
Good.
And we're going to keep this train rolling because next week, maybe I'll let you try it if we get here early enough because next week will be almost by the end of the week it'll be 3 weeks lagering, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in kegs because I need the tank, and then let us spend the final week in the cooler.
Okay.
Lagering.
All right.
But it's going to be. I'm sorry, it's not going to be 32 degrees. It's going to be 43 because that's where my cooler's at. So you and George can piss off again with your
Listen,
goddamn.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I just love giving you guys shit because you guys.
I know.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
You can tell we respect each other, like each other. We can talk to each other the way we do, because no other group would ever be able to get away with that.
Right. Well, we've gotten to know each other quite well over this webcast over the last year and a half.
Oh yeah, I really wish we would have been able to frickin' do the trivia tonight because I found that page that's got all the questions from last time.
Okay.
And I went to the ones that I'm going with the ones I didn't go with, and a few are a little bit harder.
All right.
And,
yeah.
And then the funny thing is like we were going to find some shitty beer, and I found some. I didn't have to go anywhere. I just reached out to the wine cafe, and I was like, "Hey, you guys got any like shitty domestic beer over there?" Like, we do. What are you looking for? I'm like, what do you got? She's like, our shitty beer is blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'll take Budweiser because I can't do Miller products. She's like, we got Stella. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't put a bad name on Stella. I can't put a bad name on I could have on Heineken, but that's an import. So, and I can't drink a Heineken. I'm sorry, I can't do it because you know how they make Heineken skunk. You know what they actually do in Belgium?
I don't.
They put a pallet outside for 2 days in the sun to skunk it.
To skunk it. Okay.
To skunk it. They put it outside.
Fantastic.
So, if you want even more of a reason not to drink Heineken, there's your other reason right there. More of a reason not to drink Heineken. Sorry for Heineken drinkers out there. We haven't had any comments, so now I'm poking the bear now. Oh, we got a comment. Oh, it's Bill Bailey, your buddy. Bill. Hi, Bill Bailey.
What's up, Brew peeps? Shout out to Mr. Actor Bill Bailey, our good friend. Cheers to you, buddy. Hope you're having a great week. We got to invite actor Bill. You know what? I'll tell you what. Bill's been such a supporter. Let's invite him on for trivia night.
Sure. Bill, get on. There you go, Bill.
I'll make sure he gets the invite.
And make sure you do some beer trivia, too.
Yes.
And you got to get some shitty beer to drink because of you. If you answer the question wrong. Oh, then he jumped off.
I trust Bill will get it done.
Yeah, actually, I enjoy looking those up.
Yeah. I tell you, I feel very good about the questions I've got.
You know who another person we can invite is? Bitterman.
Yeah, I thought about that. I think it's fitting.
But we're all going to be drinking, though. That's the problem. We'll all be drinking.
Yeah. The thing with I feel like these are going to be layup questions for Bitterman because he knows everything.
Almost. He knows a lot. He's really good at what he knows. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because he was just in Minnesota at a show last week, and he was hitting all the classic breweries in Minnesota. Like, I don't know if you saw his pictures that he was posting on Facebook.
No.
Of like some of the oldest breweries, like, and how they were restoring them and all that. And just his architecture is amazing. You know, and I wish, even though, don't get me wrong, you know, like my cute little brewery is awesome. Will County's, everybody's cute little breweries are cute. But just the massive breweries that these people built in the late and early 1900s, it's just amazing. Because,
yeah,
tell you what, you know, I always say they don't build them like they used to. And you know what? They're not fucking lying. They do not build them the way they used to.
It's true.
So, that's my rant. Sorry, I'm done.
It's all good. It's all good. I'll have to look at those pictures later on. Look forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Someday. Oh, actually, before it starts, I think once it starts cooling off, I was talking to Steve about the brewery that was open here in Wilmington, and he was telling me about a couple of tunnels and the logging caves that you could find, and they're behind one of our regulars' house. So we might have to go on we might have to go on a little adventure trail one day.
Oh, I like it.
And actually, he showed me what?
Sounds like a nice place to brew. Exclusive.
Oh yeah, it'll have to be an audio or just a delayed. Maybe have to film it and do it a delayed one.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
We'll have to figure out how to do that.
I'm gonna figure out. Yeah. We'll play around with that. I trust. We'll figure. Yeah. There's a way we can do it.
Ooh, you know what? Another person I was thinking of. We have to reach out to because you haven't been there yet, have you? To Bishop Hill.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah.
You know, I was Tina and Steve when they were talking to the owners. They're talking about buying the building across the street and opening up a brewery in there.
The one that's the rectory?
No, the old Searing Brewing building. They're thinking about buying the building and putting a brewery in there.
Oh, okay.
That is fucking huge. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want my owners to hear anything. Okay. They're in the building.
All right.
I wouldn't do it, but come on now, that would be fun. I've already been told if I leave here, I'm not getting out here alive. But the thing is the people that hire me, they're only getting their legs broke. They're getting off easy. They're only getting their legs broke.
They'll heal up. Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Well, you're going to my wake. So, why are you looking for another brewer? Yeah, we had to kill the last one. He's trying to leave him. Try and get him replaced now.
Yeah. You know how it goes.
Brewing world is cutthroat, man. I'll tell you what.
Just a little.
Right? Well, maybe at least down here in Wilmington it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is up in the rest of the country. The rest of the Chicago area. Oh, that's funny. Well, you ready to wrap it up? I'm kind of out.
Yeah. I think we got a show tonight, and we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Check out our Facebook page and our social media platforms for the next showtime. In the meantime, check out our YouTube page for all of our past episodes. We've been doing episodes for more than a year now, so there's quite a back catalog. We have an audio podcast that's available on all the podcasting platforms. All things beer and beer making, just like our webcast here. Check it out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or all the places you get your podcast from. And our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're making good beer out there. And before we sign off, we raise a glass one last time, and we say, Paulie, send us out, sir.
It takes a lot of good beer to make great beer. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.